This is Joel, and welcome to All Things Bourbon. Today, we're going to talk to you about a trip that we took this March of 2022 to Three Boys Farm Distillery. And so it's located in Frankfort, Kentucky, and it's just a small farm of 122 acres that a family called the Caldwells moved there in 2000, I believe, 11 with their triplets. And then in 2013, they had gone through all the trouble to get at where they could legally make and distill their bourbon. So they have that farm, they grow their own corn, and it's a very unique experience to come there because so you come and it's just pull up and you're like, are we at the right place? And it's a small building at the top, and it looks just like that you're at a farm, and you are, but you pull up and you go in and they have a small gift shop, and the young lady in there was very friendly. And then they said, do you want to take a tour? And we said, sure. So then we drove down to the bottom. You actually drive down through the farm to the building there. And so what we found out is that they only have single barrel, like, so when you get this, you picked it just from one unique barrel. So they are a small operation and very unique in the fact that you go and it's very hands-on, which Joel's going to tell you more about it. But the Three Boys Distillery was named after those Caldwells had triplet sons. And so they named it after them, the Three Boys Farm. And so they make whiskey and bourbon there, of course, and they also were in the transition of maybe changing their name to Whiskey Thief, and I think they've successfully done that. And then also, with all the information I can find, that they make Good Times bourbon also. But when you Google a lot of things, you can get all kinds of answers, because like our bottle says Indiana, but it also says Whiskey Thief.
But if Google says it, it's right.
So it definitely seems like the credit goes to, there's either bottling or making of Good Times. There's definitely a connection of Good Times, from what I can tell, to the Three Boys, or now they maybe have changed their name to Whiskey Thief. I think that, like I said, they were in the process of that. But we were also told that it had changed hands, but and wasn't any longer the Caldwells, but I may have misunderstood that. So I'm going to say that regardless, I definitely know that Hunter Coffee is a young man that makes their bourbon, and that is correct. And so when we got there and we came down, at first it was just us and our daughter, and we went in and they had music playing loud, and I was like, oh, this is going to kind of be a bust, because we could do a tasting, and we got these little glasses or something, and it didn't look like anything much was going on. And then another couple showed up and they started the tour, and we just had a great time. I'm going to let Joel tell you about the experience that we had, but we had a lot of fun.
So it is I would call it a craft distillery. It's very small scale, but it was to me, a super fun experience. And she's right, that other couple showed up and they were farmers. I don't remember what state they were from,
Kansas.
but they grew. They specialized in ancient grains. There's so many grains out there that have been genetically modified by the seed companies, and this couple was so interesting listening to them talk about the ancient grains, these unmodified seeds of wheat and corn, barley that they grow, and they were actually there seeking for places to market some of the seeds that or the plants that they grow, and so they were super interesting. But this Good Times, we actually won this in a fundraiser. It was a $40 grab bag, and I paid $40. Went to charity, and I opened this up, and I said, oh, I don't want a flavored bourbon, and it is a toasted vanilla strawberry, but of Good Times. And it says it's distilled in Indiana, but in the fine print here, it is bottled by Whiskey Thief Distilling Company. So it is associated with the Three Boys Farm folks. But but we have never seen this anywhere, and so
Except for on
so,
Facebook pages.
yeah, on Facebook pages. So if you
People.
know something about this, please send us a comment. Talk to us about this Good Times strawberry.
Nice comments.
Yeah, nice comments.
Because we're trying to find out.
Toasted vanilla strawberry Good Times is what we're have. But what the distillery tour was very interesting. When the time we went, they didn't have any mash fermenting in their vats. And they didn't have anything cooking in their still,
so it seemed like, oh no.
So we were thinking, well, this is a bust. But then you get through with that tour, and we were talking to the people, the farmers that had the ancient grains. But we were also, when we went to the sampling or the tasting,
I think they had 5 different barrels. It's been a while, so I don't know.
Yeah, there were I think 5 different barrels on the floor, and they gave you these miniature Glencairn glasses, and they would give you a very hefty sample with a whiskey thief.
Generous for sure.
And very generous sample, more generous than other distillery tours we've been on. And you got to taste the 5 different barrels, and then
they're all strong proof because they're straight barrel.
Every one of them are barrel proof, so every one is very high proof. But you got to taste them, and then if you wanted to go back to one and taste it again just to be sure, you could do that. But and then one of the things that to me was so unique about it was I actually I picked one of the barrels out of the.
But how they let us taste it.
Do what?
They brought it right out of the whistle with the whistle thief.
Oh yeah, the whiskey thief, not whistle.
Whistle.
So they take the whiskey thief, stick it down in the barrel, pull a sample, and then they give you a pretty generous tasting in your miniature Glencairn glass, and then once we've tasted all of them,
then you decide which one you like.
We decide which one I like, and if you wanted to, I mean, you don't have to buy a bottle, but it's such a unique experience that I picked I think the 3rd barrel out of the 5. And,
I don't know. We just kind of voted.
And I got to fill up my own. They give you an empty bottle, and I use a whiskey thief, and I get to fill up my own bottle with the whiskey thief, and then they print off a label, and they let you put everything on. They actually seal it for you. But we had a great time. That experience was very unique. And I would highly recommend.
But everything they made was really tasty.
Yeah, every bourbon they made was very tasty. It was barrel strength, so the proof was pretty high. So the one that I ended up picking is 118 proof, and we're gonna crack this. This hasn't been opened since we bottled it last March, but we're gonna crack this.
And for us, we would have really liked to gone over and visited with the young man that is the master distiller, but we had not eaten lunch, and we were just someone else, the other couple was visiting with them, and we'd already been there a couple of hours, so we want to go back, because anytime you can talk to a master distiller, it's a really neat experience to get to listen to them, whether it's in a video or a TV show or whatever, just to hear the people that make the crafts. But we're hoping to go back when we go back in October and maybe meet him. But then they had some of those really gorgeous dogs. I forget the name. We're not big dog people, but they had some dogs, and they just kind of run free, and it's a very rural country setting, and I think everybody should go. I don't think they're on the bourbon tour from what I could, but they're right there in Frankfort, Kentucky.
It's south of Frankfort, and it is a rural distillery.
So just Google, yeah.
Which it is. The rural distilleries are our favorite. We really like the landscape of these country distilleries, but they farm their own corn, and I don't know if they buy their other ingredients. The other, I don't. In fact, I don't. I'll have to look up the mash bill, and I'll put that on the video here. But this, if you smell it, it is 126 proof. It has a very strong alcohol smell. You can smell the ethanol there. So this is something that would probably be actually better cut with a little bit of water.
It's really got a great flavor.
But
I don't want to drink out of these glasses anymore. They're too. I like big glasses.
So it does have a fantastic flavor, but I'm telling you, it does pack some heat. I mean, you look at the 118 proof. That's a very high proof bourbon, but to be that high a proof and to have the amount of flavor that's coming through on this, I think it's very impressive.
It's
But
yummy.
but you want a unique experience of touring the distilleries, go to Three Boys Farm. It is really a neat experience, and hopefully they have some mash that they're fermenting when you go, and they're actually distilling some of their product.
What kind of still did they have?
It was a pot still.
Okay.
It was a pot still. But guys, please like and subscribe. We're just having fun doing this. We hope you enjoy our videos.
If you know someone that would like it, share. Yeah, share it with them and.
Yeah. So get some help signing into YouTube if you don't know how to subscribe. Get somebody to help you with that. For the longest time, I didn't know that I needed to be signing in, and it's just use your Google, your Gmail email account. It's very simple, and once you sign in, you can subscribe to our videos and like them. We hope you enjoy this.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers. Hope you get to Three Boys Farm and enjoy that visit. Have a great day.